Hey, what's up? My name is Roller Coaster Rider, or yeah, for the time being, it's Roller Coaster Rider. I just want to say that these opinions are purely my opinions. They aren't the opinions of any employers, any groups, any friends. These are just purely my own opinions. I had to put that disclaimer out there. Anyway, Kay and I went back to one of the first parks outside of Great America, Six Flags Great America, and the Mall of America that I ever went to. And this was actually the first park I went to where I didn't go with a family member. Anyway, Santa's Village. Back then it was Santa's Village and Racing Rapids. Nowadays it's Santa's Village and then, very small if you can see that, Azoosment Park. The day was a little interesting. I'm not going to get into the negatives because I probably shouldn't, but I was with a group, and I'm just gonna go through. I didn't really have a lot of time to prepare for this. To prepare for this, I guess, vlog. Gonna just inflate my ego. I'm gonna call it a podcast. What I will say is that when we went, it was extremely warm. That's not the park's fault, but it was very warm. Uh, I'll get into something that I think the park needs, that they can afford space wise, because as we found out, they're pretty much landlocked and they've pretty much maxed out all of the space currently in the park as it is. And if you're wondering about the Santa Springs area, that they say it's going to open in August. It wouldn't surprise me if that became a 2020 edition because they seem very, very far behind. It's nothing on them, but they do seem very far behind. I didn't even, I and I also saw ride pieces for like the Troika or the Trinado. KD wants me to tell you that I did the Trinado because even though even though I live 2 miles from Great America where they have a Who's Troika, he just likes the name, and so I decided to mention that. And yes, I did write it. Um, let's see what else. We got a history of the park and several of the original buildings and attractions from Santa. Um, let's see what else. And we got ERT on three of the attractions. And hey, Coaster Kitty. And what's weird is that two of the attractions were right next to we got free ERT on three attractions. But what's weird is that two of them were right next to each other, and then one was like all the way over here. So we got ERT on the Sea Dragon, the Super Cyclone, which turned out to be my 735th coaster, I believe, somewhere around there. And I decided to do a spin on the Wacky Worm. Still, it's not quite as good as my favorite Wacky Worm, the one that's at Southport Pleasureland, because the drop is supposed to be in like this. It's more of a little more like this, so it's a little sharper and a little snappier. It was a fun Wacky Worm. I more call it a Big Apple than a Wacky Worm because it's not the most intense Wacky Worm I've been on, but it was fun. And Super Cyclone, I thought that it was just gonna kind of bang your head around with the over the shoulder restraints. It's not. It's pretty good. I think this is the first model I've been on where it only has one helix instead of two. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's a guess. After that, we it was then time for pizza. Uh, I do want to thank the park for giving us the all day souvenir cups, which was really good. Uh, I was thinking I was gonna have soda and then water and then soda and then water, but because it was so warm, I ended up just getting water after like my second soda. I think I had grape soda, and then I had water, and then I had root beer, and then I just had water the rest of the day. And it was one of those. It's one of those plastic bottles where it kind of sweats through. just because it was so warm. We got a little bit of Q&A about the park, like let's see what else. Like what he wants to do, like he wants to add a wooden coaster. I threw in my 2 cents, if you remember from an older podcast where I talked about how I wanted them to build a recreation of the Riverview Bobs because it's not too tall. 40 you can GCI can do 46, I believe, 46-inch height limit, which is actually shorter than Super Cyclone, which is 48. Um, I got into a debate with a coaster enthusiast where he was like saying, "No, they should build something more like the Raven." It's like, why the Raven? It's like because it's shorter than the Bobs. And I was like, the Bobs was 87 feet, and he was like, "Oh, I thought it was like 120 feet." It's like, nope. Um, the Santa Springs area, it looks a lot It looks a lot bigger. The way it's described than on the website, where it just looks like a splash pad, pretty much. Hashtag Legend Splash Pad. Um, no one's gonna know what that means. Oh wait, yeah, they will. Um, it seems to be a much bigger play structure, and ideally they want to expand it. Um, I don't, I don't remember if I asked if they were going to install, if it was going to be all winter and Santa themed, because that would be pretty cool. And what was also cool was that during the entire day they pretty much played Christmas songs, which that was kind of cool. I do wish they had done Muppets 12 Days of Christmas, but I don't know. I guess they weren't able to. Let's see what else. We did the antique cars. That was pretty cool. It was great riding antique cars again, since Great America doesn't have them anymore. I rode Extreme Elevation, their drop tower, and I really like these drop towers because they just go up so slow, and they don't give you like even 1 second to just look. They lift you up really slowly and then drop, which is a lot of fun. And what's weird is that I found once the side with the lights, the side that faces the lights, um, to be like bigger seats than the other side, which I thought was kind of odd. Um, we did the fire trucks, which is pretty good. I think that's the first time I've ever done the fire trucks there. Um, it's okay. It's pretty fun. You really feel the heat. Um, I of course did the famous slide, which any parents who want to do the slide, which let me see if I can find out the name of it. I don't see it. It has to be somewhere. Um, Santa's Treehouse Slide. That's the name of it. I'm looking at the map right here. Anyway, Santa's Treehouse Slide for parents who want to do it. Um, it looks like it can accommodate everybody. There's a door that you have to go through, which is very tiny. So that's kind of interesting. Oh, something else that's interesting, and that's probably what I'm going to call this episode. Um, they offered unicorn grilled cheese. 1 second, folks. Magic of editing, folks. This was the sports bottle. And because, I'm a big fan of magnets, bam, for about 280, 290, something like that. It's originally $3, but because I was with the group, we got a 10% discount, I believe. So, yay, there it is. And at one of the gift shops, I don't remember which gift shop exactly. Might need to do a little digging, but they have I guess I don't know what it is. It's one of those. I don't know what the term is. You roll a wheel and then it spins, and whichever it lands on, that's what you get. It goes everything from free tickets to a free ice cream cone to what I won, a patch. cool. Um, oh, in order to do it, you have to put in your email address to sign up for their e-car evi or sign up for their internet group thing. There were a lot of animals. Kay was particularly was really interested in seeing all the animals. She got kind of sick, so we had to kind of cut the day short. Also, it felt like it was 100 degrees outside, so I was also like, I was also exhausted. Um, let's see what else. Oh, they also have a boa, which they have a boa constrictor, which is really cool, and they have a bunch of unique animals that I haven't seen before. Um, and I had to do it. Since they brought back the snowball ride, I decided to ride the snowball ride, and wow, that was actually pretty fun. The way I would describe it is it's kind of like a whip meets teacups. But these are teacups where how they have the thing where you try to turn it every every time you go outward, it then spins you in the opposite direction. So after a while, I was like, you know what, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna like relax and chill out, and that's kind of what it was. The paintball area was very busy, as it was like half as that parking lot was probably as full, if not more full, than Azoosment Park. Um, and now I'm going to get into the one ride that I think they should add. Again, this is I know they don't have the most money and they don't have any land available, but I'm pretty sure they can do this. I would like to see them install one of those teacups with water. It's a teacup ride. However, they have water guns on them, so you can splash other riders as well as non-riders, and non-riders can also splash you. I'll put a description. I'll put a photo at the end of this podcast. So that's pretty much it. Will I go back to Azoosment Park? Um, hmm. Maybe when they get some more new rides, and or maybe if they're able to add another coaster, because I feel like a good sized thrill coaster. I'm not talking like a B&M Giga Coaster, but I think something like a small Eurofighter, or like I said, a wooden coaster like the Bobs, or something like Wooden Warrior, or something like White Lightning at Fun Spot. Something like that would be really good, and like I said, they also need that teacups with water. Don't think that I'm talking anything negative about this park. I'm not trying to. I'm not intending to, and I'm not implying anything negative about it. Um, Hopefully they can also get a funhouse back, because that looked really cool. Okay, bye.